With that being said, we are back with another news video, and we start with the events of Monday Night Raw last night, and the fact that Seth Rollins has a new challenger. And Seth Rollins' new challenger is Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura is somebody that Triple H has wanted to push for ages at this point, it seems, since Triple H took over creative, and it seems like finally we are going to be getting that opportunity to see Shinsuke Nakamura elevated up the card and get the opportunity that he rightfully deserves to challenge Seth Rollins for the World Championship. And in my opinion, Seth Rollins should be holding that title ever so dearly, because if there was ever a time where WWE could have Seth drop the belt to somebody, it should be, and it could be, Shinsuke Nakamura. Because Shinsuke deserves the opportunity to reign as world champion in WWE outside of down in NXT. And I think now would be that time, even if it's just for a month, now would be that time to capitalize on some momentum and gain some momentum for Seth Rollins to show that this time is just a little bit different and that WWE are not afraid to pull the trigger on Nakamura being world champion. Because in my opinion, Shinsuke Nakamura deserves to be world champion and deserves to have a title reign at the top of the card. And having the world title that Seth Rollins holds so ever so dearly, having that world title, it is the point to give people like Nakamura the opportunity to be a world champion that maybe they wouldn't have had the opportunity to be because Roman Reigns was holding the title hostage. And honestly, the fact of the matter is, if you want to put two and two together, I would say Shinsuke Nakamura should have been a challenger for Roman Reigns, but never got the opportunity. But now he's getting that opportunity, and it's all thanks to Triple H giving somebody who rightfully deserves the opportunity to be at the top of the card, the opportunity to be at the top of the card. And I think rightfully so. It is something that we should have seen a long time ago, but I'm glad we're seeing it now. And speaking of Monday Night Raw, according to, I believe it was PW Insider, Nick Aldis was actually in attendance for Monday Night Raw, training to be a producer with WWE, as it seems like Nick Aldis will be heading to WWE as a producer, hopefully as a wrestler too, just to give him a little bit of an opportunity to show what he can do, even if it is just a temporary position as a wrestler and a permanent position as a producer. But I also honestly don't know where he's at as far as injuries, where he's at as far as like where he wants to be in the wrestling business. And if he's ready to hang it up, let him hang it up. You know what I mean? Or just do what you did with Jamie Noble and just give him a house show or two to hang up his boots and go out on his terms. Because honestly, I know I keep saying that, but the fact of the matter is, letting these guys or giving these guys the opportunity, if they have the opportunity to go out on their terms, it is the biggest honor in the wrestling business to be able to go out on your terms. Because not everybody gets to do it. But speaking of WWE programming and a headbutt that looked clothesline it was actually supposed to be a headbutt. Speaking of WWE programming, tomorrow, I believe again, according to PW Insider, Brian Pillman Jr. is set to be a part of NXT. I mean, honestly, I would love to see Brian Pillman Jr. in the crowd on NXT, because I think that would be fitting, especially because Vic Joseph and Booker T, I think, would sell us on the idea of Brian Pillman Jr. being a big deal and a top free agent in professional wrestling if he was seen in attendance. With that being said, though, I think I would only like this for Brian Pillman Jr., him joining WWE, if this means we actually get to see the potential that Brian Pillman Jr. had and never got to display in AEW. Because honestly, Brian Pillman Jr. is somebody that I think had a lot of potential in AEW, but never got to show the potential within that company. Speaking of potential, Zelina Vega has shown a lot of potential over the course of this year and has been rewarded by WWE by putting in performances and getting strong reactions, because initially she was supposed to just be squashed by Rhea Ripley at Backlash. What is the point of squashing somebody in their hometown? I will never know. But WWE changed their minds because of the reaction that Zelina Vega got at Backlash, and rewarded her for that reaction and her performance by giving her a Money in the Bank spot the following month, or later in over the summer when Money in the Bank came around in London. I think it is an opportunity that is well deserved, because Zelina Vega has done nothing but work at becoming better and has become better. And also, Zelina Vega is a fresh face that isn't used to being at the top of the card, and WWE giving opportunities to people who are fresh talent and are not used to being seen at the top of the card keeps things fresh and different, and is something that WWE should focus on. But now we slide over to SummerSlam. Honestly, I have nothing to say about the main event, because I think WWE is on its last legs with the Bloodline storyline, and that if we need to see what happens on SmackDown to be able to understand what happens next. As far as Brock Lesnar and Cody, I liked what we saw. I think the handshake was a nice touch, and Brock made the right decision. But other than that, I'm glad that the story is over, and we can see where we go next for Cody, as Cody continues to stay busy ahead of finishing the story and correcting the ending with Roman Reigns. But now we end with the biggest story of them all, as FTR has challenged the Young Bucks for a tag team title match at All In Wembley, one of the biggest events in wrestling in the last 20 years, will take place on August 27th at Wembley Stadium, when 70,000 plus pack Wembley Stadium for AEW's first UK show, and the big match has to happen, FTR versus the Bucks. And I'm not going to hide the fact that I hope, if this match does happen and it is official, FTR keeps the gold, because they deserve it 100 times more than the Young Bucks do. And I'm going to say this, I know we haven't been doing the predictions, but the fact of the matter is, there ain't no way I'm letting Wembley Stadium go off without doing some predictions for the biggest wrestling show outside of WWE to take place in the last 30 years. With that being said, though, let me know down in the comment section below. Nakamura Rollins, FTR the Young Bucks, Brian Pillman Jr. in NXT, Nick Aldis as a producer with WWE. Let me know down in the comment section below what is on your mind in professional wrestling right now, and I will see you in the next one.